Right, hello chat. I am here, sorry for the minor delay. I'll just give a moment for more people to arrive. Alright. Let's get started then. Here we are. Let's see. Okay, so to go over the strategy we're going for now. Morning. So we're going to bring along 7 sort of sacrificial lambs, so to speak. So we want Sinclair, Otis, Gregor, I'd say, because they all produce valuable ego resources for us. Then maybe Honglu. Mic test. Is the mic... is it bad? Oh, hold on. Okay, better? Better now, yes or no? Hello! Hello! Welcome everybody. We've got out here the team layout. We're going to be going with this, mainly because these 6 are sacrificial lambs, essentially. Because the strategy is going to be, we sacrifice them to give us ego resources, and then it's a Dawn solo. So we'll see how that goes. Hello, hello. This should... so, really, it doesn't... nobody else here matters. The only person that matters is Dawn. If we can keep Dawn alive, then we're fine. Gregor can take the hit from this to give us that. And then... we just focus on this one. Because otherwise, we really don't care about anybody other than Dawn. We want them to die, really. Why don't we have Dawn on 7 slots so we can get her sanity up? We want her sanity to be up at 45 before she starts the solo. Which, if she starts at 7 spots, she'll only be at plus 10. I also do, if you hear random sounds from the mic, I have a bowl of soup with me right now because I vastly overestimated the amount of time I had to eat lunch before the stream. So... should be fine. We only lost 2 flashes there. And like I said, Gregor exists solely to take damage. That is his, like, purpose here, really. As bad as it sounds, he's not here to serve any other purpose. That's hard focus then. Have Dawn clash. Yep, cool. Right, okay. More SP for Dawn. In all honesty, this should be... how long will the stream go? The stream will go until she dies, but for a maximum of 2 hours. Because I've got things I need to do with the rest of the day. I mean, if this first run is it, we're done. Really. It all depends on how well these go. It would be really interesting from a design point of view if the fight is trivialized by not caring about the lives of your sinners. How many runs? I would hazard a guess at something like 20. I would like it to take less, but 20 is just my... being pessimistic about it, I guess. Gregor, get that. Can Gregor even... Oh, no, I can't. Take that then, Gregor. Who is this trying to clash with? Heathcliff. Okay. It doesn't actually matter. I say again, it doesn't matter what they get. They're really only here to take damage. What happens if Zichun dies? Nothing we have to care about. Yeah. Completely nothing we have to care about. Which is quite good for us. She runs away, yeah. I think it happens to most people, if I'm being honest. I don't think there's very many people who actually keep her alive throughout the fight. Let's evade that. We'll take some damage, but does each count as a base ID? Yes, in the same way that Berg counts as a base ID. At least I'd stagger. Right. Attempt number 1. She is literally in her base form. Yeah, there's nothing she can do to modify it. So provided we don't have anybody, a forced ally that uses mirror technology, we're fine. And as of right now, we haven't. You never had Zichun die, really? Damn. That's impressive, honestly. Because even playing with my proper team, I couldn't do that. I barely managed to keep my proper team alive. Alright. Yeah, yet again, sorry about the late lunch. Alright, Meatland and Don solo. Yeah. That's what I ended up using. After like the 50,000th attempt, I gave up on doing it properly. But I mean, I'm back now to right that wrong. Sadly. Clash that, clash. Everything we want to clash there is fine. Gregor is the one we want to die first, because that gets us a good sinner. Zichun is pretty good. See, the thing is, if you had control over Zichun, yeah, she might be pretty good. The problem is you don't. And her AI is really dumb, or at least for most people is really dumb. Yeah, if she wins the clash. Alright, I genuinely don't think Gregor can win a single clash. He, yet again I say, exists to take hits. That is it. Let's have you clashing that. Who's this attacking? Heathcliff. You know what? Gregor, take that. Thank you. Consistently clashing against Dog. Oh, wow. She always used to try and clash evades for me. And that really got on my nerves, because she can't clash evades. She's just, like, awful at it. Okay, great. Don is nearly at max SP. Well, halfway there. Although it's a bit of a scaling moment, this Don, because she gains SP on clash when with her thing. No, when does she gain SP, actually? I'm not sure. Here we are. The good thing about Gregor having a guard is the fact that he doesn't need to win anything. He just sits here, takes all the damage, and gives us Gloom, which is really useless for us. Not useless, useful for us, because we've got no other way of getting it. If we can get 5 Gloom up by the time he's dead, we're fine. Because we've already got... Oh, Masso's different, but... Yeah. The problem is, when she clashes with somebody and loses, she gives them a ton of SP, which is really annoying. Okay. We want somebody else to clash this. Somebody else who's preferably going to win. Which leaves us with nobody other than, yeah, Honglu. You go. Do you get no, you don't get resources from Zichun, sadly. Take that hit. Great. And then tackle. Who's attacking before? You. Alright. Yep, this is all fine. Oh, that's fine for us. Okay, Don took no damage. Completely fine. Honestly, the K-Corp guards completely screwed me up too. Do we think Zietran would join us as an ally? Maybe... I don't think Zietran specifically, but we might have more allies. Story-wise she might, but I don't think actually she will. Okay. Now... Is anything clashing with Don? No. Don can take her time. Clash that. Okay, that's actually favoured, so clash that. Maybe an enemy. I don't think she... Because her entire plot development over this canto has been treating us less as an enemy and more as a friend. So I don't think she'd join as an enemy. Neutral, at least, I'd say. You know what is really annoying? Zietran clashing a mass attack unbreakable coins thing. And then just your entire team explodes. How did... Okay, that's fine, I suppose. Just so long as Don doesn't stagger. If Don staggers, we've got problems. That's all we need to avoid. Okay, one down, perfectly fine. And the moment of truth. Ta-da! We now get that healing, that's online, that's online. Okay, so that's practically all we care about. The other things we want now is we want to get Sangre de Sancho online, which we're going to use against this one? This one. Okay, now who do we not care about next? We don't care about Sinclair. Sinclair's gonna die this time. How are we gonna outclash the finale? Sangre de Sancho, and if that doesn't work, pray. Rather simply. Yeah, the answer to that question of how are we going to outclash it might just be, what do you mean outclash? Alright, there we are. Dominating, Sinclair dies. Yeah, alright, great. Sangre de Sancho gets online after this, which means that Don continuously gets healing throughout the fight, which means that we no longer have to worry about the thorns, which means we're in the perfect place to just have all the other sinners die, and then Don's the only one left. Zietran's soloing Dulce. I wonder if she... I don't think she can even gain skill slots. If she could, that would be strange, but also pretty cool to see. I'm sure some... Sorry. I'm sure somebody will have done a mod for it. See, it's stuff like that. That would have been really annoying if Dulciana was at low SP, because she would have just given her free SP for no reason. It would be interesting to see Zietran try. This doesn't matter. Clashing it would actually be a net negative. Where we can use... We don't want to use Otis to clash it. This uses up all that gloom. There's a Zietran mod. Yeah, I thought so. This is... No, we want... we'll get so much lost later. Neutral, really? Oh, yes, of course. No, that does actually make sense. We go for this then. Because that gives us pride back. I've seen it fighting Elking. Yeah, I remember seeing that video, actually. Who's this targeting? Yisang. Hey. No, hold on. That's being killed by Don. Well, good luck, Yisang. More gloom, actually. That's perfectly fine. More Gloom allows us to use some of the other egos without needing to worry about activation. I will find it really funny if this is the attempt, because this is so much easier than how I fought her the first time round. Like, with an actually properly well-built sinking team, struggling more than the base IDs to kill Delciana would be very funny. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. We didn't kill that guy. That's actually a pretty good tank. Yiseng being a tanking character wasn't something I expected to say today, but here we are. See, it's this. Why is Zichun taking a hopeless clash? She's just gonna get herself staggered. Like, it makes no sense. Doing swords with abnormalities. Yeah, that's fair. There are a few things I would want to mod, but also I don't want to lose the account. Like, that's the major thing for me. I really just don't want to lose all my progress. Oh, we need to clash that. Oh, that's fine. Yuseng takes that, so Honglu kills. That's evaded. And then... Yeah, that works. We want that to be clashing because it's just infinitely better. Wait, huh? She's gonna explode now, but... How, huh? How did she do that? Zichun could win the clash, just needs to roll heads, yeah. Yeah, fair. Did she have Paralyze or something? Because Paralyze is notoriously bad for making predictions. That's fine. Alright, it's stuff like this. She's never going to win that evade. Even though she's going to explode next, but... Wait, hold on. I didn't even stop to how did she hit all heads at, like, -8? Uh-oh. Yeah, Zichun fought nobly, honestly. Anyway, Sengo to Sancho time. There we are. And then we put this on that. Right. You take that. She's still gonna explode. Oh, yeah, she's still gonna explode. But, like, for the moment she had, that was pretty cool. Honestly. More respect than I had for Zichun starting this. What? Okay, Don still evaded it. I hate 5% chances. They kill me every time. Alright, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Why didn't Don gain another skill slot? No, because you're meant to have 5. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is the amount we're meant to have. Yeah, this is normal. I'm just used to seeing Zichun there. Zichun would have won that. If she didn't have bleed, if she had a way to clear her bleed, she would still be alive. Absolutely. Who's this clashing? Heathcliff. Ah. Right, well, 4, 8, 12, Dawn evades. Dawn evades that. Zichun died. Yeah, gotta restart now. Dominating. Honglu. Take that clash. And who's this targeting? Honglu. We really don't care about that. Honglu can die here and we're fine. I'm curious to see how many people are gonna die. Honestly, it doesn't matter anymore if people die. Because we've taken a Don solo over from this point, it's perfectly fine. Don at 45 SP is a better... Oh, please don't Saga. I don't think Don's staggered. If Don is staggered, we've got issues. Don isn't staggered. Okay, great. That was nearly an issue. Great, yeah. This is fine. Honglu dies this turn, giving Don another skill slot. And we're all fine. Who's this targeting? Yisang, okay. Does that have an unbreakable coin? It does have an I hate unbreakable coins. Alright. We don't clash either of those then. We just clash here and here. Great. Actually, yeah, and then we deal damage. Can we use this without sacrificing? Yeah, okay. We clash that with him. That there. Don also kills that person. Honglu takes a bunch of damage, but we don't care because Honglu was going to die anyway. Right, get rid of as much thorns as possible. Yeah, true. Is Zishan... If Zishan was under our control, she would have locked in and just killed Bell. It would have been a turn 1 kill, trust. But yeah, no, now is the point where we start praying. A sacrifice will be remembered. Oh god, how many are targeting Don there? Okay, only 3 actually, and that's fine because we've got 3. Oh, hold on. Dominating, dominating, dominating. Do any of these have unbreakables? No, perfectly fine. Yisang takes the hit on this one. Yeah, alright. Great. Oh, I forgot about her counter. Well, rest in peace, Yisang. So true. If Zichin actually understood how a fight worked, she'd be amazing. Okay, now we need an evade, and we just hope that none of our evades fail, because if our evades fail, Don gets staggered. And Don gets staggered, we are in trouble. Okay, here is the point where we do this, this, and then this. Yes, okay. This is fun. We just need to not hit any 5% chances. If we don't hit any critical 5% chance failures, we're fine. That's it. That's all we gotta, like, not do. Please don't tell me Dawn just got hit there. I don't think she did, but... Okay, now is when the gaming begins. Hopeless, really. I beg to differ. Favored. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. This is fine. Okay. We've clashed the scary part of that. The only problem is if she staggers, does our evade not trigger? Because if that's the case, we've got a little bit of an issue now. Wait, hold on, she's full HP again. Okay, the evade didn't trigger, that's fine. That's annoying, but fine. We just gotta hope. How many more? Oh, can we not use? We can't use Sangre de Sancho anymore. And yeah, okay, this is all we get. Okay. Now begins the point where we have to lock in. Dominating Clash there. Dominating Clash there. Evade that. Okay. Boom, boom. Put that on there because that kills. Evade gaming time, yeah. And so it begins. My heart is racing right now. Okay, we evaded that. The problem is, whenever Dawn hits a 5% chance, she's just kind of screwed. Because she really doesn't have good base rolls. This is fine, we're slowly breaking Dulciana's shield. Zichen's hand is guiding Dawn here. We've got a fully powered Dawn now. Okay. We want to clash this with this. And now that'll go first. So then we can clash this, 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 and that. 6 attack power up and 9 offense level! Oh god, that is so stupid and I love it. Ego, we can't use Ego. We don't have enough resources for Ego. Why did that go first? Please stagger. Oh. We do have the problem right now of how do we deal with the finale? I mean, we just get a ton of attack power up, I suppose. I don't like that. The fact that Don's below a stagger threshold. 26! Huh? What? We have enough, really? Where did we get a pride from? Huh? Okay, champ. We hold on to that forever. Clash that. Clash that. And then we kill these two. Oh, oh. Clash this and evade it. That's dead. That's dead. That's clashed. Great. For the finale, yeah, that's gonna be what we have to do. I'm not sure when the finale triggers though. Is it when a shield breaks completely, or when is it? From kills. You get eager resources from killing people. Oh, her status might give it that, I suppose. We just need to heal more. Oh, I don't... What? 19-3! Okay. Do we have any more pride? Oh, you get pride every time you... Oh. Okay. Can we clash this with... Okay, we can clash it with that. And then we evade there. And the rest, we just deal as much damage as possible. How much? What's attacking this? This is... Sangre de Sancho attacks that. That heals us. No! Oh, it's the smiley face. Okay, good to know. We're using Ego here to heal us. We use it again. Yes. Let me throw in some of these just to give us some attack up for the next turn. That heals us. Okay, all of these heal us. All of these attacks heal us. So if we can just get to full here. Dulciana now has no more shield. If we can just do it here, it's fine. My heart is racing right now. 95, well, we get half of that. 45 health healed. The attack up's only on Clash one. Oh, never mind. Okay. We want to kill these things to get the pride. Where is it? Yeah. Oh, for 3 least owned. Yeah, okay. Do any of these have unbreakables? None of these have unbreakables, so we can clash them all first. The more of her underlings we kill now, the more resources we get. Pretty much. Great. Okay. It is... Oh, it is only in Clash 1. Oh, well, we get Clash 1s from here. Okay. The 5% chances kill me every time. This is fine though. The fact that Dulk now has so much bleed is really good for us because it means we heal every time we hit them. It's only 3 HP, but that's still a lot, really. And as I say that, all our bleed disappears, but still. Does Bloodwoven Thorn actually disappear? Because if it doesn't appear, we have a problem. Okay, we evade here. Then... Oh no, we evade this. Then clash. Then clash. Then clash. Then clash that. And this. Why did she go? Oh, it's gonna stun. Okay, that's fine. I mean, stagger. And we get heals from that. This is fine. Disappears from stagger. Okay. Winning that didn't get rid of the Bloodwoven Thorn. That scares me. Okay. Oh no, it apparently did. Not sure. We're, this is the home stretch. This person just gets staggered. This person is dead. Wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. You can't do this to me. Why does she have that much? Oh, because of all those. Huh. How much until we stagger her? Not enough. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't feel fine, but it is fine. Let's make sure this guy's dead. 5, 10, yeah, let's just do that. They stagger, perfectly fine. Yeah. Oh! Oh no. That's fine, she just needs to... That's fine. Uh-oh. Okay.
뭐 시계 대가리도 있으니까 겁먹지 말고 일단 밀어붙여 보지.
So long as Don doesn't get an absurd amount of bleed and or die. And that's it. Right. Well. So, it's an important lesson for us that we need one Sangre de Sancho available at all times, just in case.
화이팅이다.
We were so close, yeah. Let's see ya. Maybe if I kept Zeichin alive, yeah, true. Shoulda.
좋아, 간다.
Right. Please don't. Okay. Great, okay. 19 sanity is really good for a turn 1. We made it there before, we'll make it back.
바로 적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope it's impressive to watch, because it's, well, it's something to play, alright? We just need to get as much of this as possible. The more pride we get now, the more we can use Sangre de Sancho, the more we can heal Don, and the more we can stop situations like that from happening. So, it is really only a matter of hoping that that doesn't happen again, and if it does, we want to at least have precautions in place. Who's this gonna hit? Can any of these guys climb? Honglu, take the hit. You can only imagine you'll have a... Yeah, part of the reason why I did do this is because you'll probably have heard a lot of people going, oh, Limbus Company, you've got to do... It's a gacha game, you've got to do gambling. You don't have to. If you're really that caught up on the gacha mechanics, just play it with the base IDs only. And that's the restart of this attempt. But, yeah, if you're that caught up over it, just don't. It's possible. You can do it. It's insane. You probably shouldn't do it, but you can do it. Also, yeah, activating Sangre de Sancho's passive immediately might be a good idea. If we can just keep Don at high HP, we're fine. Okay, I reckon we just hard focus this person. Just get them dead. Oh, and then Brega takes a hit for us there. Don clashes because we need Don to get as much SP as possible. That's fine, we can take one loss. One loss in exchange for actually killing one of them is perfectly fine. That's a fair trade. Just get lucky with pulling, yeah. Just get like a triple O on every 10 pull. It'll be perfectly fine then. Please. Clash that. You clash that. Braggy, you take the hit. Playing gacha whining about its main mechanic. No, it's less so people whining about its main mechanic and more whining about, like, it's people who just play, like, Lobcorp and Labor Ruiner. It's people that say, like, oh, I don't want to get into Limbus Company because it's a gacha game. Because for some reason there's a lot of people like that, and I have no idea why. But I mean, their loss. It's a good game. Please don't. No! And that's almost worth resetting over. Oh. Zichen actually killing someone. Wow. Okay.
야, 새끼 좀 봐. 또 이상한 짓 하려고 하잖아. 일단 피해.
Yeah, the dispensers, they really don't... They don't like paying attention to the fact that you can just get any ID you want. Yeah. I'm not sure if the fights are intentionally designed to be doable with every ID, or whether or not that's just like a side effect of what's going on. But it's definitely possible. Yeah, why resetting this attempt? True, yeah, the challenge would be a lot easier if it was just don't interact with the gacha mechanics rather than only use the base IDs, but still.
진짜 열받네. 형씨, 여기서 안 끝낼 거지?
This is also because, like, in story, you only ever hear bad stuff about the base IDs.
뭐 최선은 다.
Like, they're always, like, especially in, to Claim the Bones, they're all like, oh yeah, you're just meat shields. Yeah, but, like, look at them. Gameplay-wise, they're definitely not just meat shields. They're out here killing, like, second kindreds. Significantly weakened second kindreds, but they're out here killing them. What's that? Huh. Yeah, people not hearing you out when you do say it's a gacha game made by people who don't know how to make... Well, it's a gacha game that isn't a gacha game. And then people are like, no, what are you talking about? It's a gacha game, therefore it's immediately bad. Yeah, it would be... I'm fine with there being, like, one limited time banner for a crossover event, and I feel it's still kind of crossing a line, but it's not too dangerous. The weekly pushback of IDs is still annoying, but it's not too bad. But if it goes further, if there are some IDs that you can't shard anymore, I think I might get a little bit annoyed. But still. Yeah, no, but this definitely does prove, at least gameplay-wise, if not narratively, that the LCB sinners are still good. I think that I understand why the delaying it by a week was done, but yeah, I don't particularly enjoy it. I don't think it's good to have done, but still. Let's what SP is done? 15. Okay, Clash. This. Yeah, it is really annoying when people, like, you say, oh, it's a gacha game, and they're like, yeah, no, it's a gacha game, what are you doing, you're a horrible person. Start calling you a Genshin player. And it's really not, it's so annoying. Like, there are people that say confidently, why would you ever play a gacha game? It's like, oh, for the story. And they're like, oh, is this the story? And then show, like, classic gacha models. Yeah, no, I definitely do think with... Because there are so many people in the community that would donate. Like, if they just asked, then yeah, they probably would get a bunch of donations to fund an anime. They don't have to force us to pay. Because it's not sizable enough, in my opinion, to force people to pay. But it's just long enough to make people start to get annoyed. Is my thoughts on it. But, yeah. I'm gonna give Zichen a chance on that one. I probably shouldn't give her a chance on that one, but I will. I mean, yeah, everything did get pushed back a week, sure, but it's like, before, you didn't know about it until it existed, and then when it did exist, then yeah, now you can get it. But it is still, now this exists. It's worst with, like, the, whatchamacallit, the event mechanics. Where it's like, oh yeah, you get a bonus for using these egos, and then it doesn't let you get the egos for a very long time. Well, a week. It's not really a long time in the scheme of things, but still. Oh? Oh no, Zichun, please. Okay. This is probably the most useful I've seen her be. Zichun really is deciding to lock in for this challenge, for some reason. And then Gregor takes a hit from that. Fine. I think we kill this guy here. Yeah, we do. Great. Season IDs are the sort of thing where it's an accepted an accepted thing because they've been around for seasons. So for the majority of people, it's not that annoying, if that makes sense. Because don't get me wrong, it's horrible, and I dislike it for new players because it ruins the new player experience of, oh yeah, well this is the good team for the status. And you can bet 99% of the time, they're either not going to be able to shard it, or it'll be a Walpurg thing. Which also, you can't shard. It's really annoying. But another thing I dislike, seeing as we're on a tangent of things I dislike about Limbus Company, I dislike the amount of resources it takes to level things up. And this is incredibly evident to me because I've had to bring all these sinners up from like level 10 to level 50, nearabouts. It takes so much time. So when people are like, oh yeah, chain battles aren't too hard, you've only got to like have a full team of 12, which you should have if you've been playing the game. In what world? The game only ever expects you to have 6 sinners, and basically not even for every bit of content up until then. And then randomly when you hit Season 6, I mean Canto 7, it's like, yeah, now you're going to need an extra 6. I really dislike it. I really dislike the people too that are just like, why don't you have a full team? It's a pet peeve of mine. That people, I mean there are a lot of pet peeves I have with people in the Limbus community, but still. Yeah, the other day I had like 120 modules or so, and now I have 44 from having to get these people from level 40 to level 48. And it took me basically an entire day's worth of grinding. Okay, how many... We should probably get Sangre de Sancho... we don't really need it online at the moment. It is... Because, yeah, the one thing you need to level up is modules. But the one thing you're not going to have if you're actually playing the content is modules. So it's a horrible catch-22 that, like, really old players can't understand. Because they didn't have to go through all of it. Because they actually had years they had to wait. You shouldn't have to worry about when the season will end, considering, I think, Season 4 took, oh god, how long? 6 months? Which, I know that's on the extreme side of the spectrum, but still, you don't really have to worry about it. The thing you really have to worry about is, do you have enough lunacy and pulls for, whatchamacallit? Walpurg. If you've got enough pulls to get every Walpurg ID, you're perfectly fine. That's the only really time-gated thing, in the near future at least. Okay, no, we don't clash that. Okay, let's clash this because it gives the most SP. Gregor takes the hit here. Can we use any of these IDs without using Pride? We have 0 use for Gluttony. And we don't need that. Okay, great. Only favoured, but that's not a problem. I don't want to use that even though it's a good clashing one. And we need Lust. So there we are. Plus 2 to 3 months. Yeah, that'd make sense. Because I mean, we've got an entire intervello for this seasonal end, so we've got a while. Not that. Okay, we're gonna be evading for most of this turn, it seems. And that targets Citron. Okay, that's fine. You can get dupes of an ounce of wild park. That's horrible.
좋아, 간다.
Yeah, and it's an issue that's only gonna get worse, isn't it? Two months is enough to shard Otis if you grind an MD a day, really? Hold on, let me just do the mental maths. You've got 75 bonus 3 times a week, which gets you, what, 75 times 3? Well, it's 120 plus 15, 122 divided by 10, 220 times 2. Oh, yeah, no, I see your point. Well, no, hold on, every week you get, like, how much would that be? 44 shards, so 10 weeks? Yeah? That's... Oh no, that is 2 months. Yeah, actually, you're right. That is 2 months. If you get the I will say, actually, this is a really interesting thing that I didn't end up putting in the Millionaire video. It is actually more efficient to grind mirror dungeons than it is to do threadlocks. And most people don't realize that, because why would they? Surely threadlocks is the best for that. But no, when you do the maths, you actually get more by doing a mirror dungeon, getting your... Or at least, so for the first 3, you get more by doing a mirror dungeon and then turning all the shards you get into thread. And if you have the battle pass, it is permanently at least 1.5 times better. Don't do a weekly hard MD. That's the answer. Because you get 75 per bonus, and you get... no, you don't. You get 45 per bonus. Oh, it's 70. I did my maths completely wrong there. You get 45... whatchamacallit? 45 bonus for... Let me compose myself. You get 45 points for a bonus, and you get 25 base, or 35... No, 25 base. So when you do 3 weekly mirror normal dungeons, that's how you say those words, it's more efficient to do that. The highest level threadlocks is more efficient. No, it isn't. I genuinely have done the maths on this. It isn't. Especially if you have... It's more efficient... The highest level threadlocks is more efficient if you're using non-bonuses. But if you're using bonuses for mirror dungeons, it's more efficient. And it is... Especially so if you have the battle pass, obviously it's going to be more efficient because it times it by 3, but it's more worth it to do that, which I find personally really funny to do. So yeah, thanks for dropping by the stream. Hopefully this will be the attempt. You bring the maths later. Ah, good. Are you in the Discord server? It's in the description of this stream. If you join there and just drop it there, I'll read through later. 250 person. Base Sinners, yep. This is the Base Sinner only challenge. We've gotten here with Base Sinners only. So, we're currently fighting Dulciana. Everybody who isn't Don here, we want to die. Yeah. 464. Some lunacy on Inca. Okay. I will say, I think... MD, 18 times 5. You forgot you have to times that by 2. Because... well, hold on. Hold on, let me... Wait, no. I might have gone over this horribly. His base ID is plus... No, Zichin is a base ID. Look at her. She's not using any additional things. She's not a Limbus company sinner, sure, but she's a base ID. I can't quite talk and do maths at the same time, but if memory serves, it is more efficient to do Mirror Dungeon. I don't want to say the wrong thing because evidently I can't really think over the maths that well at the moment, but yeah. Who's this targeting? Honglu. Do we care? Not really. No.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
This seems like hell. Honestly, it's not too bad. Now that might be just because I've gone slightly insane, but it's not actually that bad. I probably struggled more with my proper team than I am struggling with this team right now. Because essentially, this is just an extended solo strategy. The solo hasn't begun yet. I think Rose Hunter will go. I will say I am kind of terrified for the final dungeon. And obviously the final fight that I get so many comments about. Why is Zichin not at Uptie 4? Well, you see, I'm poor. I don't have the thread for it. I've been too busy doing thread looks rather than mirror dungeons. We do that. How is Gregor still alive? Gregor's died before some actually good sinners. Bloodfiend Trio is going to be painful. Yes. I don't think anything can be worse than what I had to deal with in Backcliff. Jesus, I'm stumbling over my words at the moment. Much apologies. Many apologies, that's the word you use. We Sangra Descentra that, to get that online. We then do that here because I don't want to have to deal with it, and also this only uses non-problematic resources. Do we care about Sloth? We don't care about Sloth. Do any of these use Sloth? We've got enough Sloth that it's fine. Great. Roach behavior, true. Should have expected it. And then we'll just have you all attack him. If Duhl-suh-nay-uh wasn't hard for you, that's genuinely impressive, because she was hellish for me. Like, actually, it took my properly put together... I actually gave up on using my properly put together team, and I just used a Lantern Don solo. And I would like to flatter myself I'm a somewhat decent player. It is rather interesting that some bosses in this canto are easier to do as solos. I'm torn between whether or not that was intelligent design or if it was just pure chance. I would like to think it's intelligent design, but I just think it's a side effect of Unbreakable Coins. It's just that they're poorly designed, really. I understand some people like them, but I don't. I think they're a poorly designed way of making a fight harder without actually adding any complexity or fun difficulty to it. Okay. I'm like my youngest. We don't use that because we want Gloom. We use this again. Neutral? Oh no. Yeah, the more attack weight there is, the better having only one person is good. Oh. Which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do about it? We want now our IDs to slowly die just to trickle the slots to Don. Okay, I will say, if you have a blood team, a blood fiend team, then this canto is easier than trying to do it without. Because if you were doing it on release before any of the Blood Fiend IDs existed, you run into the problem of all of your IDs just exploding with no tangible benefit for you. But this is... why is this so bad? Why is everything going wrong? Is this attacking Dawn? It's not attacking Dawn, that's fine then. I think we have to use up another count of Sangre de Sancho on this. Just to get us... Does this have an unbreakable coin? Oh, it does. Never mind. We Sangre de Sancho that. Then, who's this hitting? Heathcliff. We don't care about that. Who's attacking Don here? Oh, the counter. No, that's fine. Yeah, somehow with 2 panics he's still alive. Sinclair dies here, which is fine. Okay, that may be problematic. Ah, you started 2 months ago. Yeah, fair enough. I'm unsure if there are any nerfs, but it... I'm really not sure. Ah, yeah, they did get a lot of defense level up, which is annoying. Okay, unbreakable coins, the way they work is they're completely normal coins unless they're broken, and when they're broken, they still work, but they only deal 1 damage instead. I kind of dislike chain battles, but I do think it is more of a problem of unbreakable coins than chain battles with this Kanto. Let's just hard focus that guy. But yeah, unbreakable coins are just really annoying, especially with bad statuses, because you just get a ton of bleed count. Which isn't fun in any world. Okay, that's fine. He staggers, we don't care. He's dead, we don't care. We... okay. Yeah, basically. Which is the reason why I dislike them. That's in response to the 10 extra damage even if the clash is lost. It's really annoying because of the fact that... yeah, you just take a ton of damage. Even if you've won the clash, it's an awful feeling to have won a clash and still die. Yeah. Okay, that's problematic. We have to do that. And then we just have to hope Don is fine. Don't get staggered here again. End of run. Right. But yeah, it's really not fun to have to deal with. I can't decide what's the worst part of Unbreakable Coins, and I think that's the biggest indictment of their character possible. I'm not sure if it's the fact that they steal... Wait, does Up Tie 4 Sangre de Sancho do anything differently? Hold on. I can't decide if the biggest problem with Unbreakable Coins is the fact that they still deal damage, the fact that they still apply status, or the fact that they just feel awful to be hit on a clash win. This is another one of my pet peeves too, actually. The people that see Unbreakable Coins, hear you say like some valid critique about it, and then will go, you just dislike it because it's hard. It's awful. On hit compared to head... Right, okay, one moment. I kind of feel like making a video about it purely just because I might make it after this challenge is done with it. But it's just awful. There's so many problems you can raise with it. Because, also, realistically, what does a tank ID do anymore? There is no point to have a tank ID if everybody is getting... This is another problem with, whatchamacallits. Another problem with Unbreakable Coins. The fact that they're on mass attacks. I wouldn't have a problem with an Unbreakable Coin if it was purely on one skill. And it's just like, okay, you've got to decide which Sinner is going to clash that attack and take the fall, but at least they make everything better for every other ID. But that's not what Unbreakable Coins do. Because every enemy, for some reason, has mass attack Unbreakable Coins. So it's just like, okay,
이게
you can clash that attack,
최선이겠죠?
but it's not going to do anything.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다
Okay,
해보라고. 저보다 한
Because,
주먹거리도
oh,
안
that
되는
doesn't have an
놈들이니까.
Unbreakable. But yeah, I do think Unbreakable being... I'll take a look into that, actually. But Unbreakable Coins on defense is fine. Because Unbreakable Coins on defense gives them a way to presumably defend themselves after they're done. But Unbreakable Coins on mass attacks is not fun. See, because this is... I dislike this, but it's fine. This is fine. Compared to the Parade. Now, the one really good thing that the Parade does that all Unbreakable Coins should really do is it can't stagger on hit if it's broken. I think Unbreakable Coins, once they're broken, just shouldn't do anything other than minimal damage. Because I think everything they do, being on mass attacks, being able to apply count, being able to take the base damage and still deal more damage, being able to hit every single Sinner, it's not fun. It's just not a fun gameplay mechanic. So it should be changed. Because what's the point of having a mechanic that isn't fun in a video game? And, okay, I'll talk about this. I'll talk about things being hard. Being hard is fine. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. I don't have any difficulty with doing things that are hard. If they're interesting. If they're interesting and enjoyable things where you have to think, but they're hard, that's good. But when the difficulty is arbitrary, when the difficulty is just, you're dying now because I feel like it, that's not fun. And it's even worse because you can just get rid of the mechanic. It's not a mechanic you have to take into consideration, it's just, okay, we're running a solo now. We're just doing a solo with a base ID. Not a base ID, we're just doing a solo with an evade ID. Where's the fun in that? It's not like, oh, you have to focus down this one person, or you have to make sure you're always able to clash this one skill so everybody doesn't instantly explode. It's just, you either explode or you use a solo and you no longer explode. Oh yeah, multiplication coins were planned. Originally, I believe. I'm unsure if the 3 people we fight in the prelude have them. I know there's a mod which the way that implements them is by giving them that, but I'm not sure if that's actually how they are implemented in base game. Like, 'cause I feel like it is Railway 4. Yeah. Railway 4, I will say, I enjoyed Railway 4 purely because the scare factor of seeing your own IDs used against you was a good surprise. Would I want to see them become a normal enemy? No. I think that would be terrifying. Just to be casually doing your MD and then Enclair jumps out of the bushes at you. I wouldn't enjoy that. But for a one-time thing, it was cool. The biggest problem I had with Railway 4 is, for a very long time, I got no ego. I've only recently started to get egos for some reason. So I was having to fight a team that had more IDs than me and more ego than me. So it was essentially just, how quickly can I use binds to kill everyone before they get to use high-level egos to kill me? I will say, the one thing I like how it's an interesting thing, but it devolves into reset for good RNG. Oh, and Claire is using self-destructive purge. Quit out and go back. It's not fun. That's the core thing I have whenever I think of the gameplay of Limbus Company is it should be fun. Like, difficulty, sure. Make the game difficult. I love difficulty. Look at, like, yet again I say, look at what we're doing right now. This isn't easy. But it's fun difficulty. Compared to just, you're all taking damage now because chain mechanics exist and you have to die. I think this is, and now to move on to chain battles. I feel like the way chain battles are doesn't work with how Limbus's leveling system is. I think it's too hard to get IDs to where they need to be to actually use them for chain battles to be the way they are. Because it's basically just impossible to get a full team of 12 unless you're willing to spend several months worth of modules on XP. Yet again, it's not fun. And I mean, the most fun I have had in Mirror Dungeon of late is just using random IDs in... Aren't I running a challenge? Yeah. Base ID. But yeah, it's the fact that it takes so long to get everyone... The most fun I've had in recent time, to get back to this, is running Mirror Dungeon normal with the manager IDs. That's the most fun I've had in a very long time. And I feel like if it was easier to get new IDs up to that level to go, yeah, sure, for today I want to go fight Heathcliff. Let's go fight the final boss of Kanto 6, and I can use this really cool new ID that just recently dropped on a banner for it. There's none of that. It's, here's a really cool ID I got in a banner. Now let me go grind for several hours until I can actually use it anywhere. It's not good. Could be solved based on what IDs the person has. I'm not talking about Unbreakable Coins specifically for this challenge. I'm talking about Unbreakable Coins in general. I dislike the way they're implemented in general. Because I've beaten Kanto 7 before. And it just wasn't fun. Like, okay, hold on, let me phrase myself better there. I found the Kanto to be fun, but I didn't find the Unbreakable Coins to be fun. Yeah, an easier way to rematch bosses would be incredible. Then good benchmark for a new ID. What I normally do is I take them out in a Mirror Dungeon normal. Bringing a new ID into a Mirror Dungeon, you generally have to get them up to Uptide 3, which in and of itself is kind of annoying. But once you get them up to Uptide 3, take them with a fairly decent team into a Mirror Dungeon normal and find out how they work. All of my Blood Fiend IDs are currently at level 1 other than Manager Don. And I just use them in Mirror Dungeon normal. Because I don't have to level them up. Because I don't have the resources to level them up, because I'm busy doing other things with the XP. It is also, yet again, unfun. The fact that you can't grind levels if you want to play the game. There's no way to go, okay, I'm going to be playing through the story, but also I'm going to get some XP on the side. You can't do that. It's, okay, you've got to either make the choice to turn the energy you could spend playing the game into XP tickets to be able to actually play the game, or, suffer. There's not a third option. Those are it. And I've seen multiple people... How hard is it to recode the leveling system? I'm not a coder, so I can't really answer that question. But I can't imagine it would be that hard. Because presumably it's just an equation. And they could just scale the equation to stop going higher. Even as is, even if they were to do that, I feel like it's still too high. Yeah, that or they give out better XP levels. What is... What is like a 300 XP ticket going to do for me? Wow, I can add a total of 900 XP to one of my identities. That'll get me a 10th of the way to leveling them up. This is the one proper critique with Limbus Company as a whole that I feel is a fundamental issue, is the energy system. Oh, you've math thread at hand, nice. XP to MDs would make them better too. They need to, and I know Kim Jae-hoon was talking about this in the director stream, there needs to be more content. If there was more content for you to do other than mirror dungeons, it'd be great. But, like, I think everybody goes a little bit insane after the 20,000th MD. I think we'll let Gregor die here. Yeah, that's fine.
먼저 간다.
It's... The rest of the gameplay issues, I think, can be fixed. But it's... The leveling system is the one... The leveling and energy system are the two biggest issues I have with Limbus Company that I don't think will ever be fixed. However, attempts have been going pretty good, actually. We had one that got close. Except we couldn't clash. We managed to break Delciana's shield, but after that we couldn't do anything.
이렇게 눕혀가다 보면 어느새 끝나는 게 싸움인 거지.
But yeah, I love Limbus Company. I really love Limbus Company. But there's just some fundamental issues with the gameplay systems that I don't love. 4k amount of Miradons, oof. Enkephalin is definitely a donation tactic. It absolutely is. I mean, even the fact that, like, yeah, it's... That's how you, by the way, the stream title is how you pronounce, Dulciana. No, Duhl-suh-nay-uh. Sorry, I've had this issue, that's the reason why it's like that. Duhl-suh-nay-uh. Yeah. It is, the energy system is to get people to pay. Like, it is, sadly, that is the case. But, yeah, it's just... I think a lot of the critiques of Limbus Company I don't agree with, but there are a few that I do have to take a look at and just go, yeah, that's reasonable. People complaining because it's a gacha, I dislike. If you're going to go ahead and explain why you dislike it because it's a gacha, that's fine. Do that. That's intelligent critique. I'm happy with intelligent critique because it opens up the opportunity for discussion. But if you're just going to say, bad because gacha, that's not helpful for anybody. You're just wasting everybody's time with that one. That'd be cool. A roguelike Limbus Company mode would be very cool. And that's the kind of thing, if I wasn't terrified of modding, I probably would implement. Because that sounds amazing, honestly. I've had an idea on the back burner for a little while now, which would be trying to recreate Limbus Company in board game form. And I think it would be really cool to do because as soon as you've recreated Limbus Company in board game form, there's so many interesting things you can try out without needing to deal with the code of the game. Oh, that was the old MDs. Oh. I don't think I sticked around long enough to experience old MDs. I'm not sure. I can't remember doing any of them. Let's update that. Doesn't hit Don, so it's irrelevant to us. Heathcliff gets staggered, so we're just going to have him deal damage to that. Actually, it's probably best to do that. Yeah. Limbus Company is definitely... It's got its flaws, but those flaws aren't what people who critique it talk about. And I do think that roguelike thing would be a perfect way to make MDs fun. Because they're not fun. I do remember hearing, like, the talk about how mirror dungeons were going to change. Like, oh, we're going to make them shorter, standardized, that way everyone can get them done without them turning into an annoying slog. And then they didn't change. Like, I genuinely can't think of the changes that happened other than... Okay, this is another thing that annoyed me, actually. Why am I in this mood? I don't know. But when they said you can get duplicate gifts, as somebody that really likes games like Risk of Rain, I saw that you can get duplicate gifts and go, oh boy, we can power scale this. There is going to be so much fun things we can do by getting multiple of one gift. And then it just turned into, yeah, you just get a thing that does nothing. Because why not? And all it does is it stops you being able to get better gifts. Calling it a duplicate gift is disingenuous. It's not a duplicate gift. It's just giving you the possibility to get something of equal tier that's worthless. It's a pet peeve I have with it. I mean, it is saying PM has had an issue for a long time with balancing the length of content. For example, I haven't actually completed Ruiner, but from what I've heard of it, the final fight sequence is just several hours long. And it's just fighting fights over and over and over again with no way to do anything else or change your decks. That's what I've heard of it. So I do think, and then also you've got stuff like Lobotomy Corporation's final things. But, yeah. It's just, I need to stop talking about it because I'm getting distracted. I'm not actually paying attention to the fight we're doing. But I think I might make a video on it because I've got a lot of things to talk about. You can fuse those for ego gifts. But you know what else you can fuse for ego gifts? You can fuse any other tier 3 gift. Oh, well, I don't know why tier 3 comes to mind, but say you've already got Wayward Compass, or whatever it's called. And then you could just get any other tier 3 gift, and it functions the same, except it actually does something. Versus, okay, cool, I have 2. Well, let me take another thing. Trying to think of it. Let's say I've got a nebulizer. And then I get another nebulizer. It would be cool to have 2. It would probably be broken, but who really cares? It's Mirror Dungeon. But no, now I have nebulizer and a worthless thing that just exists as a placeholder, when I could instead get... I really don't know why I picked Poise, I don't run a Poise team. But I could get any other Poise tier 3 gift. And it would be better for me. Or, I could get, I don't know, a Tremor tier 3 gift. And I may not do very much Tremor, but, for example, my, whatchamacallit, my, sinking team, that's what that is. My sinking team has, Molar Ishmael on, because most sinking teams do. So Tremor gifts still do something. So I'm less likely to feel annoyed when I get a Tremor gift versus something that says it will be a duplicate of a sinking gift and is nothing. I think yet again, it boils down to the core ethos I have with the game is, it should be fun. And why wouldn't you want to give people duplicate gifts and MDs? It's not like MD is ever going to be the most balanced thing in the world. Like, just let people have fun with Mirror Dungeons. You get a few to do per week. Just let people have fun with it. It's not like Mirror Dungeons were ever designed to be hard. Oh, don't get staggered there. It's not like they were ever designed to be hard. I can't think of a single person who isn't going out of their way calling Mirror Dungeons hard. It's like running solo Mirror Dungeons. Yeah, I'll accept that. But there are plenty of roguelike games where you can get duplicate gifts that are far more powerful. So, yet again, I go back to Risk of Rain. You get a proper, like, missile run going. You get some Plasma Shrimp going, and you've just, like, a proper proc build, and you just evaporate everything. And that's fun. Because they allow you to get duplicate gifts that are actually duplicate gifts. Still, I'm ranting for far too long about this. I probably should stop now and start actually getting... I think this run is over. Yeah. Gift hunting sounds fun. I haven't thought of doing that before, actually. Okay. Let's go back. And we're going to go back to the strategy we had with the first one, where we actually actively sacrifice people. I don't farm normal MDs. No, because I enjoy I enjoy playing video games that are fun. I think doing my, God, how many is it per week? Also, it's because I need to save my modules to get XP for things like this. Why haven't I clashed the counter? Because I'm not actually attacking Dulciana at the moment. It doesn't matter if she gets any Blooming Thorn. I don't think. Blooming Thorn doesn't give her any buffs, if memory serves. Yeah. Bloodwoven Thorn does, but yeah. Apples to red hued oranges. Yeah, that's fair. I am essentially saying Limbus Company Mirror Dungeons would be more fun if they were Risk of Rain. That is true. That is basically what I'm saying. But yeah. I just think Mirror Dungeons have the possibility to be cool. They just don't hit the nail on the head. I think another thing that would make Mirror Dungeons really interesting is official challenges. So you know, like Wallpug events do. Like, okay, kill this encounter with XYZ conditions, or deal this amount of damage. That's cool. Like, that's a... Oh, why did I just use a one-sided Gregor thing? But yeah, that would be cool. Okay, officially the game is going to reward you for doing a solo with XYZ identity. That's cool. I'd like that. Give me some reason to actually intelligently interact with Mirror Dungeon systems beyond win rate. Would it take more of my focus? Yes, it would, but would it be more engaging than what is there right now? Yeah. Yeah, it would. And it's just, Mirror Dungeons right now, nobody really does Mirror Dungeons for fun. I don't think. I would be interested to see if anybody does do Mirror Dungeons for fun, other than if they've got separate goals, like trying to get all the gifts or trying to do their own set solos. But for the majority of players, you don't do MDs because it's fun. They're adding achievements. Oh, that's cool. Let's watch that. Because yeah, I think if they did add achievements, that would fix most of the issues I have with Mirror Dungeons. Because it gives you a reason to actually deal with things. You do Mirror Dungeons for fun. Oh. Well, I'm curious. Why do you do Mirror Dungeons for fun? I'm curious. This isn't me calling you out or anything. I'm genuinely curious to see what you find fun about Mirror Dungeons. Okay, I think we just start resetting until Don gets some SP to start.
그럴 수도 있는 거 아니겠어요? 기운 내자고요.
I think I will say, I liked the meta progression of Mirror Dungeon, whatchamacallit? Mirror Dungeon 4 was the last one, we're on to Mirror Dungeon 5 now. I think, yeah. I liked Mirror Dungeon 4. I liked them, well, I didn't like it. I liked the meta progression it had. But I didn't like I don't like what it is now. Because they changed it, right? They changed it to be that it would no longer punish you for not having enough IDs to get the bonus, because it would make the start of the dungeon, the Mirror Dungeon, harder. Now, as somebody that never really went for Starlight bonus, I don't really get what they're talking about there, because I found MD to be really easy. But, yeah. I don't get it. All they've done is made it so that now you need to constantly run different teams, which makes it even worse for people that don't have different teams, versus you will still get some Starlight, which will eventually make you more powerful. Okay, I will say, yeah, the idea of becoming really powerful and eviscerating enemies is cool. I do like that. But I think there are ways it could be cooler than what it is. I think currently where it is, it's an interesting idea, but it's not right at the level it needs to be enjoyable enough that I would choose to do it over another game. Let's go with this. We don't really need to mind about Don's SP because we're eventually going to get. All we need to do is win a clash. The rest of these sinners, by the way, are dying. They are all here as sacrifices. I've gotten back into my routines of don't let anybody die because I've been ranting for a while now, but they are all supposed to die to give us, well, not supposed to die, but they're supposed to be here to give us eager resources to allow us to use Don. Because they're all under-leveled versus Don. Don's the only one here who's level 50. But yeah, I genuinely might make a video about the pros and cons, well, not pros and cons, but what I think Limbus Company does really well, and what I think Limbus Company doesn't do well. As a sort of, because obviously anybody who's recommending the games to people isn't going to go in with all the stuff that's not so good about it. But I think as just an unbiased, well, moderately biased thing you could show to somebody to go, here's why you should consider playing Limbus Company. Like, here are the pros and cons all laid out for you. Consider it, and if you think it's good, you can play. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be a cool video to have. Something that isn't just preaching to the choir on it. Something that maybe will convince the people that are like, oh, it's a gacha game. I mean, they probably won't click on the video in the first place, but still. Yeah, no, we're resetting that. Okay, that's fair. Making it harder for you. See, because that's the... Most of the time I don't like it when enemies get harder like that, because it stops me from being able to just click win rate. Because of the stark difference, Mirror Dungeons... Yeah, the reason why Mirror Dungeons are challenging is because enemies eventually end up clashing 20 levels above you. Which, yeah, sure, that's interesting, but it's not interesting enough that I would consider running Mirror Dungeons more. Yeah. The tutorial... When has PM ever done a good tutorial? Okay, let's all go in on this person. Greg will take the aggro from that. Maybe we should get more defense people and then we just take them to soak hits whilst we gun one down. That might be a strategy, actually. It does devolve into ego spam. MD isn't hard, yes, but it's just... it's annoying towards the end. Because it goes from you can click win rate to you need to put egos down and click win rate. Which, yeah, it's challenging. But this is another thing that I feel a lot of Project Moon fans don't understand. Something can be difficult and unfun. Difficulty doesn't immediately equate to something being fun. So, the Pequod Trio, for example, I will give as, like, the height of interesting mechanics in Limbus Company. Because they don't have any really gimmicky stuff that can't be avoided. Because, okay, so you've got Hunt Them to the End, but there's a definite counter to Hunt Them to the End. All you have to do is attack Queequeg, stagger her, the phase ends. Versus... you've then got, what? The Bloodfiend Trio. Which, honestly, they were more of a road bump for me, but... oh no, not just them. Anyone with Unbreakable Coins. Unbreakable Coins are basically just Hunt Them to the End with no play around, other than doing a solo with an evade ID. The gacha games keep you from Limbus for so long. That's fair. I genuinely think I might make a video on it, just as a way to try and explain the pros and cons of Limbus Company. Because I think it's worth getting into, which, obviously if you can't tell I'm a Limbus Company YouTuber, I'm going to like the game. But I think that it being a gacha game should be more explained for people to go, yeah, there's some reasons why it being a gacha game is a problem, but here's some reasons why it's not so much of a problem. I will say with Unbreakable Coins, if you're not going to use them with... Unbreakable Coins, they need fixes. They need so many fixes. We've already had this conversation. I'm not going to trail back to that. Yet again, I say, somebody did do the maths on how Rupture scales with Bleed rather than... Rupture scales with Unbreakable Coins rather than Bleed, and it works out interestingly. I think it ends up dealing more damage later, but... Dongbek, yeah, actually, Dongbek is I will say, yeah, Dongbek is interesting. The one thing I dislike about Flower Dongbek, I'll say, is, hold on, sorry, I forgot my train of thought here, I'm having about 10 conversations at once in my head. The one thing I dislike about it is, like flowers and, not like flowers in full bloom, it's... one of the attacks forces flowers onto you. Which, yeah. Because there's a limited amount of IDs that can actually solo her, which I find really interesting. There should be bosses you can't solo. But, yeah. I'm gonna think at more burn IDs. Probably Ryoshu. Ryoshu has to have some burn, considering that's basically the entire thing she did with her child. But yeah. I think burn will... I'm not sure. The problem is with most statuses is... it's a fine line between doing nothing and being godlike. And it's a line PM isn't really good at walking, particularly. Because, like, yeah, you put no count on an ID, and suddenly it's the worst thing imaginable. Like, try and run any status ID that doesn't have count. It's bad. You're not going to do that. Even worse if it consumes count. I mean, whatchamacallit, Linton Gregor is almost off a sinking team because he consumes sinking on his skill 3. But then you give an ID plenty of count, and they become the meta. For example, Molar Ishmael. I will say, Tremor shouldn't have as much as it does. I understand why Tremor has all it does, because it would be useless otherwise, there's only so many stagger bars. But what Tremor has is basically a million different status types to actually be an interesting status. Versus... yeah. I tell you what, I can't think of the last actual charge ID that was good. Like, it's probably a W Corp ID, which came out a very long time ago. Because every ID nowadays is pretty much just a count ID that uses a different status. Like, Self-Tremor. Self-Tremor IDs are just charge IDs in a trench coat. Which, don't get me wrong, it's interesting. I do like the way they're done, but it is still... charge itself has just been sidelined. Warpotus. I can't remember Warpotus. Oh, yes, the multi-crack IDs. Forgot about them. Yeah, no, I'll give you the multi-crack IDs. But... see, technically charge. Technically charge. That's precisely the thing I want to bring up. Technically charge is... it's unique charge. Unique charge is... it's not charge. It's not a charge team. It's... yeah. There should be charge IDs rather than unique charge IDs, because, yeah. How bad was Ruiner and Beta compared to Ruiner? I've heard weird things. I think Bruin and Beta was very unbalanced, from what I've heard. Considering you had some team compositions which were basically just bleed somebody to death within a couple turns. Okay, hold on. I will say, to go back to full stop IDs, I'm waiting tentatively for the new one, because I'm not really sure if they're going to do it well. Because I'm not really sure how you even port across the... whatchamacallit? Full stop office. I'm not sure how you port them across. Because their entire thing is winning a fight quickly. And you don't really have quick fights in Limbus. It would be weird. Like, because they would have to be quick suppression levels of Busted to be able to kill encounters in the first turn, which is what full stop is supposed to do, really. I have no idea why Wayward Passenger has so many egos. Makes no sense. Okay, I will say, to talk about whatchamacallit, counters, I dislike how they're implemented in Limbus. Because, yeah, they're overpowered in Ruiner, and they were even more powerful before in Ruiner, because they used to be able to reuse, which is insane. But I think Limbus counters should be more like that. They should either be able to reuse, or power counters should just be the norm for counters. Because that's what counters used to be. Who is going to go, okay, I'm going to take some damage and maybe deal some damage back if I don't get staggered? Why would you do that? The most interesting counters are basically either on-demand skills, clashable counters, or are actual skills. For example, Kim Maso's skill 3. Like, they're interesting counters, compared to what we have right now. What happened here? Normal counters do really suck. I can't think of an instance where I really would use them, other than if I wanted an ID to take damage. For example, I don't really care about Heathcliff here, so yeah, I'll put him there. But if I actually cared about him, then no, why would I? I'd take my chances with clashing, or I'd use this. It's not good. It's poorly designed. But still.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지.
But yeah, there are a few mechanics that if I had the ability to rework, I would. I don't, obviously, but yeah. Encourt Maso has counter. I know practically nothing about Encourt Maso other than he's bad. I think counters, normal counters, should have some sort of buff for using them. There should be some reason why you want to allow the enemy to hit you. On an ID that maybe benefits from being hit. For example, I don't know, Potential Man. The Potential Man having a thing so he can trigger his self-sinking. Great idea. But when you put on an ID that you want to survive, because the best status of all in Limbus Company is health, yeah, it loses value. Encourt Maso, his skill 1 rolls a 7. Ooh. Immortal but deals no damage. And that just basically sounds like Maso, really, as a whole. I think it is... Base Maso could be good if it wasn't for the fact that he has a 1 to 3 speed range. Like it... What are you going to do with that? Oh yes, I will use this tank ID to redirect all the 1 to 2 rolling attacks, provided I get lucky. KK Rhodia doesn't use her skill 3 as a counter, does she? It's Skyward Cut, which I don't believe is it. Oh, is it? Does her counter use her skill 3? Or what? Because I remember using a skill 3 and it wasn't a counter. Right. Kill this guy. Dominating, really? Huh. So on base ID. Chains of Others is good. Chains of Others is the real reason why we use Maso for a lot of the early part of this challenge. Just because he's amazing. Oh, Poise Resonance. That is another thing I want to bring up. Did you know no base ID has Poise count? As in, no Poise ID from the base IDs have Poise count. I think it's just Ryoshu, so that's a little bit of a fallacious statement, but for some reason, she's a Poise ID that doesn't generate count. So you just kind of go up, get a crit, and then have to build it all back up again. Which I think could be interesting. A unique Poise that worked like that maybe gave some stupid amount of modifier from getting a crit. That'd be cool. I'd be happy with that. As a way you have to go, okay, when do I want to use my crit? Rather than just, yeah, so a lot of interesting things about Limbus and PM. Thank you. And I've got a lot of time to discuss them, seeing as, well, I'm planning on doing a lot more challenge runs. And there's going to be a lot of fighting over and over with things. Is Don getting hit here? No, Don's fine. We clash that. Yeah, the old IDs definitely were weird. I think, yeah, they are really weird. It is at the point where Project Moon didn't have the game figured out. But yeah, I will say one really interesting thing to look at is, if we go to Dawn here, her skill 3. Now, this, you might not like bat an eyelid at this, but this is really weird because she's got a 3 to 6 speed range. And the max she can get as a 1 slot is 2 haste, so the max she can hit is an 8. Which means, as a base ID, they were already thinking of, what if we made a solo ID? Which I find really interesting, because she's got an evade too. She is a solo ID. Which is really cool, and I find that the Don Quixote being a duelist is cool. Do I think we'll get Smoke in Limbus Company? With how scared Project Moon is of giving us Fragile, I don't think we'll get Smoke. We might get Smoke, but considering basically every ID that used to give a ton of Fragile doesn't, well, they don't make them anymore, because they're just very strong. Let's clash with that. Don Quixote will clash with this. Do we care if this kills someone? Not particularly. Let's... This ID that doesn't want regret, yeah. I think it is another problem with balancing for Maso is the fact that regret exists. How's that still hopeless? Oh. So there's not really anything they can do about it, because if they make an ID that's good without regret, they're just going to run into the issue of people running it with regret. But yeah, Smoke is Talisman. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I see what you're talking about there. Yeah, old speed ranges are really strange. All of old balancing is really strange. Even the old base egos. Like, Project Moon used to think attack weight was this real... Oh, Don staggered there. I'm going to finish my train of thought, and then we might call the stream for today, because I've run out of time. But... they really thought that attack weight was going to be a bigger issue than it was, because I'll show you it after this. The only 2 base IDs that have egos that give attack weight cost far too much. Like, they cost an insane amount. It's Hongwoo's Land of Illusion, which is a really bad ego that nobody talks about. So it's, where's Hongwoo? Oh, I can't show you because he's staggered.
할진
Here we are.
모르겠으니까.
Land of Illusion.
돌려봐.
I hate this ego. Because, like, it would be decent, and let me just cover that. It would be decent enough if it cost, like, a fair amount of damage. Not, like, if it cost the same as every other base ego, I might use it. But, why does it cost 5 gloom? Like, Project Moon really thought attack weight was going to be a massive issue. Because, I suppose, yeah, mass attacks were a major thing in Ruiner, but this isn't a mass attack. The biggest thing with mass attacks that made them so strong was the fact that they could delete other people's attacks and went first. But when you've got enemies that can casually clash better than what mass attacks would be, doesn't matter. It's really, they're not mass attacks. If we ever end up fighting a proper mass attack, I will be terrified. But we won't. All egos do have a use, definitely. Because I've had to use Land of Illusion. I had to use it on the Clam to actually get past Canto 5. But would I use it outside of that? No. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the stream for today, because Don is pretty much dead. And I've run out of time. I might do some more streaming later, but for now, I hope you all have a good morning, evening, or afternoon. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.